Where I live, right next to the beach, I know it's probably ridiculous, but people tell me that in 50 years' time your house is going to be under the water. I'm like, oh, well, I'm hopefully going to be alive in 50 years' time. What am I going to do? Where am I going to live? If it's as high as they say it's going to be, I'm going to be moving up here probably onto this rock, maybe even having to go higher up the hill. So whether these things happen or not, I just wanted to do everything I could to help, really. We try to get everything as locally as we can, preferably from the island, if not from the other islands around us. We then put information packs in all the cottages which told people what they could do around Scilly, which were sort of more environmentally friendly, like going on bicycle rides, all the walks they could go on, encouraging them to go around the beaches and maybe take a bag with them to pick up bits of litter that they might see lying around, just simple things like that. After sort of changing our ways a bit and going green, I think it's really sort of enhanced our business. We've only had sort of positive comments back from all our guests. So I think it's been really good, and I'd really encourage any business to take it on.
When you live in a beautiful place like Scilly, it's just so immediate to you. It's such a wonderful place. You just want to do all you can really to protect it for future generations so that people can carry on living here.
I decided to join the Green Team because our islands are under threat from rising sea levels, and I wanted to help not only here but other islands around the world.
I joined the Green Team, which is a little group of ages 11 to 16-year-olds who are fighting to reduce carbon emissions on Isles of Scilly. I decided to join the Green Team because I live here and I'd like to come back here in the future, and I'm aware that there's rising sea levels and I don't want this place to be ruined.
A group of 5-6 of us came down here, and we had about 7 or 8 places that were cleared of brambles and bracken.
We planted 100 different trees. Some were beech and hazel and elder, and this is going to help our islands.
Well, it's important to me to protect the environment because I've always lived over here and I think it's such a great place to live and I want it to stay the way it is.
I think that this is a beautiful place and I think that other people should be able to witness it as well as us.
Last October we had the PV panels fitted, the solar panels, and we've currently got 12 panels on the roof of the school. We've also got a little meter inside the school which is telling us how much energy we're using at any given time. It also keeps a running total of how much carbon we've saved, and quite often we can look at that meter and compare it to how much we're producing, and we're producing more than we're using, which is brilliant. And what happens is that the surplus energy we produce gets fed back into the grid, which, as somebody said at the opening of the installation, makes us one of the smallest power stations in the country. Certainly I think there are probably very few schools that would be in this position, and it means that I've got to add something to my CV that says I'm a power station manager as well. It makes the children very aware of how much energy we're using, so they're really good now at sort of turning off lights and just making sure that we're not leaving things on when we don't need them. And I think it's just raised their awareness of how we produce energy and the environmental costs of that, but also how we can actually try and save energy just in our day-to-day lives. And I think that as well gets passed on to the parents. We're really proud of the fact that we are producing electricity in a very clean way and a way that's not going to harm the environment. And I think particularly living in a very beautiful environment, we're very aware of that, and the children are, I think. And it just makes us feel that we're not actually doing anything to make that environment any worse.
I think it is the duty of all of us to pass our world on to those who follow us in at least as good, if not a better condition. Otherwise, the very things which we all treasure about this place will be at best diminished, at worst destroyed.
Well, that's about it for another day of broadcasting here on the world's smallest radio station, 28 miles off the coast of Cornwall. Thank you for listening. We'll be back on air as the sun rises tomorrow morning from 7 o'clock here on 107.9 FM Radio Scilly. If you're out and about tonight, if you're working perhaps in a hotel, perhaps working at the hospital, or out on one of the fishing boats at sea around the islands, have a safe, peaceful night, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.
I feel the sunshine on my face. Come rain or shine, it is the same. And I see the sunshine on your face, and it's bright. I feel the rain fall down on me. It's cool and soothing all of me. It's bringing everything I need, and it's mine. The birds are singing down to me a song that's made up just for me, and they bring